So you graduated in 2008 from your bachelor's degree, and in 2009 is when you worked at OMA. In between, you had told us you worked at another firm. So I want to know your journey from your graduation till you ended up at OMA.
Yeah, so I think that backstory is kind of interesting and can be very useful for other students because it's partly, like I said, serendipitous. It's like really parts of good luck. It's making your own luck and then having some good luck along with it. You know, it started with an internship program that I went to Chile. And I worked with this cool young architect. He was 36 at the time, called Felipe Asadi, who is famous in Chile for doing these beautiful houses. And Felipe had just won an award called the Architectural Record Design Vanguard Award, which they would give out once a year. When I came back to Mexico and I was doing the rest of my studies, I wanted to go back again and live abroad in an internship form. Now, this was not strictly allowed. You can only go abroad and work once, and I had already done that. So I have to get like a special permit from my dean. There was a long story that the university owed me a favor, let's say, for like a mess up they had. And so I kind of cashed in my favor to say, hey, I want to go either Japan or Holland to work. And I only need to do 2 more classes and I want to do them online. Now this is 2008. So doing a class online was not kind of that accepted. Yeah. So my dean said, okay, we'll help you out. If you get accepted in a studio in Japan or Holland, I'll sign whatever I need to sign so you can go. And immediately I got hired through a Skype interview in Amsterdam by this office called Search Architects, which I applied to because they had won the Design Vanguard together with Felipe. So the Design Vanguard Award in Architectural Record magazine, it was like 6 to 10 offices each year they would select as like at Vanguard kind of office studio level. Mm-hmm. And so I thought they would see in my CV that I had worked with Felipe and they would be like, oh, you know, that's that guy. Okay, we'll take it. But then they confessed to me they had no idea. They just saw kind of the portfolio and they're like, yeah, good enough, let's go. And I was the first Mexican to ever work at Search Architects. And that's how I got to Holland. And I had a great experience in Holland. I mean, I remember taking the flight over and next to me, there was a young couple, well, a couple my age. I was 22, 21 at the time and around there. And they were going backpacking from Mexico to Holland and all of Europe. And I had the Lonely Planet Holland with me and I was devouring it on the kind of 10-hour flight. And the guys, when we landed, they were like really kind of honeymoony cuddling. They wake up when we land and they're like, you did not stop reading this book since we take off in Mexico. And I'm like, yeah, I want to know what's the deal with language. I have no idea. You know, I lived in Europe, but in Spain, which is the same as Spanish. So that's fine. But, you know, got a bike, get around everywhere on a bicycle, dealing with Dutch weather, dealing with Dutch language, getting to Search. All the CAD layering system was in Dutch. So I had to learn, you know, doorsnede and gebouw and these words, which means section and building. And, you know, glass is called a different way. So zwarte is black and everything was black in the office. And it was a great learning experience. And there, and this is the kind of launching pad into OMA. This is 2008. This is the year I'm graduating. There, one of the 3 partners was David Gianotten. So at that time, the lead partner was Bjarne Mastenbroek, who's still the owner of the office, Uda Visser, who was a German architect, and David Gianotten. And he's very young at the time. He's like in his early 30s. And I struck up a great relationship with all of them, but especially with David. And when David, in the meantime, I invited him to give lectures at the student lectures in my campus in Monterrey. So he came to Monterrey, Mexico, my hometown, to lecture, and he met my parents. You know, he had dinner in my house while I was still working over there in Amsterdam. So got along great with him, and he said, don't go back to Mexico, stay. And I'm like, I can't, I have to go do these social service hours things and sign my paperwork to get my diploma. And he said, fine, do that and then come back. So I do that, and then I started my own practice, a very kind of subtle practice thing, a different name, and started doing renovations here and there. And I'm like, you know what? I've got what I think is a good CV and good experience, but the type of clients I'm getting, they're interested in bathroom renovations, and they don't give a damn that I worked in Holland, you know? So I emailed David back and I said, David, I think I just need some years to go by and grow a beard to look older to get more important projects. I want to do a master's. And he said, you have a job with us here whenever you want, but he sent me a JPEG of his signature. Here's my signature, put it on any recommendation letter that you want for your applications. But I want you to know that I'm no longer going to be a partner at Search because I'm now going to be a partner at OMA with Rem. And I went like, what? And he said, why don't you come over to Hong Kong and work with me at OMA? And I was like, yeah, my jaw dropped. But still, being the very sort of counterintuitive architect, I said, well, David, I can't answer right now because I have my booked flight to New York and to Boston to go see the GSD and see Harvard. And I can tell you in a couple of weeks. So of course my answer was yes, but I needed to go check out the masters. And so at Columbia and at Harvard, I spoke with a lot of people and they said, 2008, middle of the global financial crisis, they said, Viviano, university is going to be here always. If you have a job with OMA in Hong Kong, go for it. So I did. And then I went into the application process with OMA and the interview process with OMA. I was sort of grandfathered in by David, but I need to be accepted by the rest of the partners and the directors and blah, blah, blah. And I had started teaching in Monterrey, Mexico at the time. And end of 2009, September, I flew on the 11th of September of 2009. I got to Hong Kong, to OMA.